Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to In the Spotlight with Jill Nicolini on Business Talk Radio, where we take your business to the next level. Welcome back to Business Talk Radio. We are joined now by Andrew Aaron, marriage counselor, sex therapist, psychotherapist, and CEO of Help for Passion. That's helpforpassion.com. Andrew Aaron, LICSW, welcome to the show again. How are you?
I'm doing very well, and I'm eager to help our listeners as much as I am able to.
Great. Well, and you've been doing a great job at that. So let's get started. Introduce yourself to our listeners. Again, new listeners each and every week, so we want to make sure everybody knows who you are and the type of services you can provide before we dive into a focused area of conversation.
Okay. Well, I'm Andrew Aaron. I've been helping individuals and couples love more deeply for the past 25 years. And through those 25 years, my patients have just taught me wonderful and amazing things about the challenges of loving another and ways to love each other ever more deeply and more effectively. So I do that through helping people with issues of sexuality, trying to increase pleasure through love and trying to connect, but also through individual therapy, trying to love ourselves in an ever deeper way.
Beautifully said. And as always, Mr. Aaron, that's Andrew Aaron. Tell us what you'd like to focus on today. Is there any area that you'd like to explore with our listeners today in regards to the type of services you offer and how you can help? And, maybe walk away from the show today learning something new and maybe saying, hey, I can use help in that department.
Sure. In my work, and the reason why I chose to do this work is I'm passionate about people loving more deeply, and this is in all aspects of love, loving others, loving our partners, loving our families, and loving life. So any opportunity to help people love in any of those aspects more deeply is something I'm passionate about. So I'm always looking for different areas of being human that we can shine a light on to create clearer and deeper understanding. So last week I talked a bit about the challenging relationships so many women have with their bodies. The male equivalent of that shows up in a sexual form. And so I thought maybe I'd talk a little bit about aspects of male sexuality today. That is, if we don't have, our time isn't taken up with some important listener questions.
Fantastic. All right. Let's get started then. Again, we're speaking with Andrew Aaron. Just want to point out your website one more time, helpforpassion.com. You're based out of New Bedford, Massachusetts, but obviously I know that you work with people all over the world in this virtual Zoom type of world these days, correct?
I work with people wherever they are human.
Oh, okay.
So if they're being human in France, I'll work with. If they're being human in Brazil, I'll work with them.
Got it.
It's about being human.
Got it. Great. Fantastic. All right. Good. And also 631-627-1840 is the line here to call, 631-627-1840 if you do have a question for Andrew in the meantime.
Okay, very good.
Great.
Yeah, last time I talked about aspects of the challenge for women of being women, and that certainly is not easy. However, there are challenges for men.
Oh.
And there are certain equivalents. Even though men and women are very different kinds of creatures, it is not simply our sex parts that are different. Deep down, emotionally, men function quite differently than do women. And when we struggle to love ourselves, to feel good about who we are, that can show up in our personalities in different ways between men and women. And one common way this shows up in men when they're struggling to feel good about themselves is sexually.
Mm-hmm.
Different than women, sexuality for men is strongly connected to their identity and sense of self. So for women, as I was talking about, it can show up as a woman not liking her body or feeling that her body is not beautiful. Whereas for men, it doesn't show up quite the same way. It shows up in the form of a sexual expression that can often be a compulsive sexual expression.
Mm-hmm.
A very strong sexual desire, a thirst to be sexual, oftentimes something that is unquenchable. Many men struggle with this, and as much as virility and sexual desire are seen as a valuable masculine trait and part of the masculine identity. You know, I am a real man, and one way I prove that I'm a real man is I have a lot of sexual desire. Whereas, in fact, that's not strictly true, and that's not necessarily a part of the important masculine identity. It's more an emotional need to try to get nourishment, to try to feel whole and feel good enough. In men, there are several aspects of the self and sexuality. There's the body-based sexuality. Our bodies do crave physical experiences, but there's also the emotional part. And that's what I'm talking about, is if emotionally we're not feeling whole inside ourselves, we're not feeling good enough, we feel the need to be a lot better and overcome the pain of not feeling confident or good enough inside. For many men, this shows up as an unquenchable thirst to be sexual, both to be loved through sex as a way to gain validation for my worth, but also to gain another's love, and that is a kind of nourishment. Oftentimes, for men who do not feel very good about themselves, this deep insufficiency is rooted from very early in their lives, when the kind of nourishment and attention wasn't sufficient. So early in the development, this creates a feeling of insufficiency inside that continues on through a man's life. And it will show up in the form of sexual thirst. And what men are trying to do through this is they're trying to solve a problem, an emotionally based problem, which is really a non-sexual problem, but unfortunately they're trying to solve the non-sexual problem with sex. So it won't actually work. There's no amount of sex that's actually really going to solve this deep down lack of confidence or lack of self-esteem. So men have to identify this and shift the focus. Just like in women I talked about last time, hating one's body is not going to cure self-esteem. Loving the body eliminates the obstacle to then starting to love the self. But for men, they're going to have to start loving themselves in a different way. But to do so, identifying the fact that this unquenchable thirst of sexual desire needs to be put in its proper place so it doesn't act as an obstacle to improving self-esteem and starting to love oneself. All right. Jill, any thoughts or reactions to any of that?
Oh, I'm listening, and I believe everything you're saying. It's so true, and the way men and women view things very differently. I'm stuck on thinking my own personal experiences and what I know, but I mean, which I think is important. I think everyone's listening to you, thinking about themselves, their personal relationships, and how, what you're saying either holds true or it doesn't, but it definitely holds true, I believe. So, I'm taking your advice. You're enlightening me as well as the listeners, which I think is super important today, Andrew. Thank you for that. The whole men are from Mars, women are from Venus type concept of how we think and feel with emotions and sex, and everything is just... It's so hard to understand when you're a female. But you as a male, and you're trained to understand men and women, and it's much easier for you, I think, to... if I had your training, I guess I'm dealing with my own personal issues, so let me just move on, and you can continue the conversation. But thank you for enlightening me on that, Andrew. I appreciate it. And I hope our listeners, again, 631-627-1840. If you have questions for him, please feel free to call in. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, it's an honor to know that something I said makes a difference for you.
Yeah, it does.
I perhaps grew up with a unique advantage in that I grew up with a mother and two sisters. My father was a very hardworking guy, and he wasn't home much. And then now I have a wife and two daughters. So I've been surrounded by women all my life, despite being a male. And that has helped me to understand a more female perspective as well as, of course, a male perspective.
Yeah, wow. That's great to know, seriously, because, wow, you really have been around a lot of females. So, wow. Would you mind me asking, how old are your daughters?
I have a 20 and a 25-year-old.
Oh, my gosh, you're blessed. That's wonderful. I got two little boys now, 3 and 5, so I'm just starting out this parenthood journey the past few years, but it's good to know. Someone,
I tell you, it was 10 minutes ago that my daughters were the ages of your boys.
That's what everyone says, my goodness. And again, Andrew Aaron, just want to point out, we're speaking to you here from New Bedford, Massachusetts, but he's a psychotherapist, marriage counselor, sex therapist, and helps people all over. Helpforpassion.com is his website. And I got to ask, so does your wife appreciate the fact that you're so in tune with women, or does she still think some days you have it wrong because you're a man?
Well, Jill, this is the strange thing about the work I do and being human. I say it to a lot of my patients as well. Just because I'm a good auto mechanic does not mean I'm a good driver.
Got it.
And, I can be as human in my marriage as any other man, and I do my best. I think generally I do a good job, and she's grateful that I'm in her life, and she loves me deeply. But I'm just as prone to misunderstanding and making mistakes as any other husband, I think.
And the fact that you could say that and admit that is a beautiful thing, because not all men can. At this time in the show, let's take our break, and we would love to find out your best form of contact information. And we come back, open those lines again, and we'll definitely do some more communicating and talking here. So go ahead. Best form of contact for you?
Yes, please reach out to me through my website, which is helpforpassion.com. That's help, F-O-R, passion.com.
Fantastic. And we'll take a quick commercial break here. We have a lot to say and to talk about today with our marriage counselor, sex therapist, and, of course, our friend, Andrew Aaron. Stand by. We'll be right back after this break.
Hey, road cyclist, do you want a real adventure? How about a week-long vacation in Tuscany or Lake Como, Italy? Psychobella Italia tours are so much more than just great cycling. Come and enjoy not only cycling, but all the best in food, wine, sightseeing, and la dolce vita in Italy. Go to the website, psychobellaitalia.com, to register for the Psychobella Italia newsletter, filled with interesting information about Italy and the tours. Visit the website to view the photo gallery of prior tours and learn more about the fantastic cycling experience with Psychobella Italia. Email Joe at psychobellaitalia.com or phone 480-353-6660. Psychobella Italia. Ride, eat, drink, live.
You have your Facts Life Book. The Life Facts Book is a comprehensive life facts management system designed to organize and make accessible the facts about your life and those of your household. If you're 55 or older or are caring for someone who is, then this book is for you. Go to www.factslifebook.com and order your copy for you or your loved one today. Or you can call Mary at 614-208-6094 for more information. What you need to know, when you need to know it. The Facts Life Book.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to In the Spotlight with Jill Nicolini on Business Talk Radio, where we take your business to the next level. Welcome back to Business Talk Radio. Andrew Aaron here on the line. He's a marriage counselor, sex therapist, psychotherapist, you name it. He does it all. Massachusetts and all around the world. Helpforpassion.com. Welcome back to the show, Andrew.
Thank you very much. I
Ah.
love the opportunity to be here and maybe make a few lives people's better.
Got it. Okay, great. And we have a call now. Stand by. Welcome to Business Talk Radio. Who's this?
Hello, my name is Anthony Grazzo. How are you today?
Got it. Say hello.
Hello, Anthony.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Very
you know-
good. Is there some way I can help you?
Yeah, I think so. I'm continually having these dreams of another woman. I mean, it's been a recurring dreams for me for the past few weeks. Well, nothing I do seems to really, help the feeling passes. I just was wondering, is it normal for someone in a long-term relationship to be feeling this way after a while, or what do you think?
Very interesting question, Anthony. I heard two things. One is I heard about the dream, but I also heard about a feeling, and I'm curious, what is that feeling that you're referring to?
Sort of an anxious feeling, not comfortable. Just anticipation of something, and I'm not sure what it is.
Okay. And I'm greatly appreciative to the courage to call in and allow me to understand the situation better, but also allow all the listeners to maybe learn something about themselves through what you're sharing. What is the dream?
Well, I'm with another woman. I mean, in sexual matters, and it's just a contentedness, I think. Overall for the dream, it's just it's not the person I'm with. Sharing the normal stuff. The dream is sort of it's not always sexual, but I mean it's recurring. Where I'm not with my significant other in the dream.
Sure. Keep in mind that when you're dreaming, all aspects of the dream are an expression of you. So all the characters in the dream are also you. It's your subconscious that's creating the dream. However, for how long has this dream been recurring?
About a month.
Okay. All right. And you have this dream every night or once or twice a week? How often?
No, not that often. I mean, maybe once or twice a week, yeah. Or so, not even,
Okay.
or it'll skip a week and then have it again.
Okay. Now, a recurring dream is your subconscious telling you that there's an important issue or problem, and it needs your attention, and it needs a solution. That's why your subconscious mind keeps giving you this dream. It's saying through the repetition of the dream that this problem is important. It will stop recurring when you figure out what the problem is and you actually address it in your daily waking life. So what I'm curious about is, did something happen about a month ago that happened around the time when this dream started showing up?
I have to think about that. I don't think anything in particular. Maybe just a misunderstanding. But there wasn't a fight or anything. I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
A misunderstanding between you and your partner?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm wondering.
Yeah, it was over
if the
money,
dream
but I mean, it wasn't anything to do with like relationship.
It was about money. Okay.
Yeah.
Has that problem been solved or straightened out?
Yeah, for the most part, sure.
Okay. I'm wondering if the dream is saying that because of this understanding, there's a level of connection or closeness that you'd like with your female partner, and it hasn't been achieved. The dream is saying you want greater closeness with this female. It's showing up in your dream as a different woman that could be an expression of maybe some frustration that you felt with your partner. But the dream really it's really a deeper desire on your part to be even closer than what you've been experiencing. So what do you think? Do you have any ideas about how you could get even closer to your partner?
Oh, yeah, now that you mention it, yes. I was just wondering, I was trying to interpret the dream. I was just wondering if I was saying to myself, I need someone new. I think there are ways I could work on that. Sure.
Okay, I think the dream is saying you need a new kind of relationship with your partner, one that is even more satisfying in a way, transforming your relationship or creating a new level of satisfaction, not a new partner. Is that possible?
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you take the dream seriously, and you can actually say within yourself to the dream, I want to understand what you're telling me through this dream so I can put it into practice. I'm going to try to get closer to my partner, talk to my partner, and create greater closeness as a way of satisfying what this dream is telling me, okay?
Definitely. Sounds good. I like the answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the call.
Thank you for calling in. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. 631-627-1840. Andrew Aaron on the line here, marriage counselor, sex therapist, psychotherapist. If you have any questions for him, nothing is off limits, right? You can call and ask any question you may have. Personal issues, love, sex issues, passion, connection, you name it. Just curious. So you work mostly with couples, would you say? Or I know you do both individual work and couples. So do you have a niche in relation to what you prefer to work with?
No, I don't have a preference. I work with lots of couples, lots of individuals. It's mostly determined by those couples that show up and what their needs are. A majority of couples don't seek help with their sex life, though not all of my work regarding sexuality is about sexually based problems, but I also help couples just improve the quality of their sexual relationship to attempt to experience more pleasure and heightened excitement, a better quality of life.
Got it.
But a majority of couples show up because, they're struggling to connect. A whole lot of them, they report difficulty communicating. Mm-hmm. And for that purpose, I'm actually creating a course that'll be offered through my website called We Just Can't Communicate. And it'll probably be a 3-hour course that can be accessed right through the website. And it should offer many couples some great information and great guidance without having to actually, spend more money at getting counseling.
Got it.
But most people are just seeking to connect and overcome painful problems that are interfering with being close.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. And we still have 5 minutes left in the show. What else is it that you'd like to enlighten our listeners with?
Well, I'll continue the discussion about men and male sexuality.
Sure.
So male sexuality, we can see it as having two major parts. And one part I was referring to earlier, and that is the self relationship. Mm-hmm. And when there are unsolved and painful problems, and being human is hard, and most of us struggle. We're working on solving some of these deeper problems, the troubles we have in our relationship with ourselves. But men are likely to express the pain of these problems through sex. Mm-hmm. And that's why so many female partners complain that either sex is always routine or sex is insensitive. The female partner might say sex is not sensitive to my satisfaction or my pleasure. It seems to be about my male partner and what he wants and his satisfaction. And when that's true, that then is an expression of that man about his self-relationship. Mm-hmm. The other component is sex as a sexual expression to love and connect with another.
Yep.
And the challenge for many men, if they can't solve that painful problem that allows them to love themselves more deeply, they have a hard time shifting to the kind of sexuality that's about loving their female partner, focusing more on her pleasure connecting and deepening that amazing love connection that's possible with her. And he's more stuck in that self relationship, soothing his own pain, trying to feel better in himself.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of sexuality that's an expression of an attempt to soothe anxiety and to feel less fear or less discomfort.
Got it.
And so this often shows up as an essential disconnect between male partners and female partners when it comes to lovemaking.
Got it. Well, Andrew, at this time, we're going to have to get your best form of contact information. I know helpforpassion.com on your website. We can find out a lot about you there. We can also book a consultation with you. Do you prefer to give out an email, phone number as well?
Actually, through the website would be the best way to contact me, and my phone number is there, and I can be emailed through the website as well as text messaged. The website address is helpforpassion.com. That's help, F-O-R, passion.com, and the website is under construction, so there'll be a lot of free material available for visitors to the website, but there's also a lot of the writing that I've done about love, about sex, about relationship over the past 10, 15 years, and actually very soon there's going to be a book that contains all my writing for the past 10 and 15 years that will be offered through the website.
Oh, fantastic. That's wonderful. So, Andrew, Aaron, you also offer like a free consultation with someone to see if it's a good fit for you and them, so they could give you a call, reach out?
Absolutely, Jill. I'm glad you mentioned it. I'm very happy to speak with someone on the phone, to spend 15, 20 minutes, half hour, learning about their problem and showing them the kind of person I am and how I would respond to those painful problems. So a caller can determine if I would be the best fit for them.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Helpforpassion.com. Visit Andrew's website, please. And any questions, you can reach out to him. Thank you for your time today, and looking forward to our next conversation. Everyone else, stay tuned. We have more Business Talk Radio coming up after the break.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to In the Spotlight with Jill Nicolini on Business Talk Radio, where we take your business to the next level.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, game show host, father of 5, and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. That's diploma to 977.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.